This is the new Z Flip 7, and many of the biggest complaints about the flips are now fixed. The crease is less noticeable, the phone got thinner, and the cover screen is as large as can be. I mean, just look at the difference. But what you can't see on the surface mostly stayed the same, and some aspects are arguably worse than before. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it. Starting with probably the #1 reason that turns people away from foldable phones, the crease. Well, it's so much better this year. One of the weird things about the last gen Z Flip 6 is that it doesn't open perfectly flat. Let me show you this. If you try to slide a phone onto a table like this, it would get blocked by the camera bump. But with the Z Flip 6, because there's a bit of a bend, it can just slide onto the table. The new Z Flip 7 has a redesigned hinge that provides a firm snap into the open position. And doing the same test, you can see it's as flat as it gets. Now, when it comes to the crease, the Z Flip 6 actually already did a pretty good job with its water drop hinge. But the crease on the Z Flip 7 is even less noticeable, plus the fact that it opens perfectly flat also helps. But if you run your finger over the crease, you can still feel it, and it feels pretty similar to how it does on the Flip 6. Here's an exaggerated illustration on what the new crease and old crease is shaped like. So it's definitely better, but even with the old one, it wasn't that distracting, especially with some brighter content on the screen. You mostly only notice it in the reflections. And the new one doesn't make that magically go away. The reflections are still distorted. But at this point, I don't think it's that big of a problem. The content on the screen looks normal. However, a flip phone is still not without its compromises. Around the main screen, it still has a thicker raised bezel. Plus, the screen itself is a bit more fragile and comes with a screen protector that you probably shouldn't take off. But I think Samsung does a pretty good job with the screen protector. It fits well and isn't that noticeable. You can see some dust collecting around here though. And with a screen protector like this, you're obviously not getting the amazing anti-reflection coating that the S25 Ultra has, and it makes the screen a bit more fingerprinty in general. So why a flip then? Well, on the flip side, it comes with some benefits. The biggest one is that you're getting a plus-size screen, but in a much more compact package. When unfolded, the Z Flip 7 is now even larger at 6.9 inches. Nice. But you can fold it and it becomes super small. Fits into pockets and tiny bags much easier. If you're looking for a compact phone, your brick phone options would be something like the S25 or the iPhone 16. And just look at the Z Flip 7 next to those. You get so much more screen real estate. Also, compared to the Z Flip 6, the screen real estate on the Flip 7 is much more usable. It's now 21:9 as opposed to the taller 22:9. This means it's easier to type since the keyboard is wider. And when you're watching videos, it makes a surprisingly big difference. If you're watching a 16:9 video, the viewing area is actually almost 15% bigger. And the screen itself looks great too, except for the anti-reflection coating, which is just average. The screen is OLED 120Hz and can reach 2600 nits. The cover screen now shares the same spec as the main screen, which is a big upgrade over last year. It's now way more visible outdoors and smoother too. But it also got significantly larger, from 3.4 inches to 4.1 inches now. The bezels are super thin and the screen wraps around the cameras, so there's no wasted space at all. One of the main purposes of the cover screen is to mitigate the inconvenience of having to unfold the phone all the time. And it's now even better at that. Because it's wider, the keyboard feels less cramped to use. And there's also this new toggle to make sure that the camera doesn't block any UI elements. Overall, the cover screen is just kind of cute and fun to use, and there's quite a lot that you can do here. It's nice being able to see information directly from a widget, and many of them are interactive, so you can start a timer or check off a reminder directly. You can also use any app on the cover screen with Good Lock Multi-Star, which you do have to download from the Galaxy Store, but it is made by Samsung, so it works very smoothly, and the setup is very easy too. Another addition to the cover screen is a Now Brief, which I do think is pretty useful, and now it shows even more relevant information with the new One UI 8 update. I'll talk more about that later. Alongside that, the Now bar is on the cover screen too. So if you have an ongoing function from an app, you can control it directly here now. What I think are the most fun ones are the new wallpaper features. I'm so glad that you can now customize the emojis for the interactive emoji wallpaper. Flicking them is just so fun. It feels like a little fidget toy. And before I show you what I use the cover screen for the most, check out this phone case from today's sponsor, iBlazon. Let's put it on. So this is the iBlazon Cosmo case for the Z Flip 7. It has a cover for the hinge to prevent dust from getting into it. This cover doesn't get in the way of folding and unfolding the phone at all. But actually, the hinge cover doubles as a kickstand. I like using it to prop up the Z Flip when watching videos full screen. The kickstand is a sturdy zinc alloy that can lean the phone at 57 degrees, but it can hold many different angles. This case also has a magnetic ring, so now you can use all sorts of magnetic accessories with the Z Flip 7. My favorite is the magnetic charging stand. It looks so small on it. The magnetic ring is super strong with up to 1500 grams of holding force, so you'll never have to worry about accessories just falling off. And the iBlazing Cosmo case looks slim, but it's very protective with military-grade drop protection. Also, there's a built-in screen protector for the cover screen. It has 9H hardness, it's super clear, and doesn't affect the responsiveness of the screen. I'll have the iBlazing Cosmo case linked down below, so be sure to check it out. By far, what I use the cover screen for the most is a preview of the main camera. It's still not the full camera app, but they did add a few more controls. One is filters, and another one is a zoom slider. So instead of needing to pinch in with 2 fingers to zoom, you can now just use 1 finger on the slider. It's much easier and smoother. And for the video, you can now toggle on HDR. But I do wish there were more modes on the cover screen. Right now, it still only has photo, video, and portrait. At least give us time-lapse and slow-mo. The pro photo and video modes would be great too, because without the pro video mode, you actually cannot